getting set to find out. Brandon Miller getting
Here we go. You can see the lottery machine. This is it. It is time for the 2023 NBA Draft Lottery. Just exciting. Very, very exciting, isn't it? I can't wait. So we're going there. We're going to go check it out. What is happening down there? I've got like a three-screen setup today because it would appear that my bloody, like, you might remember from the streams that we did around the vibe of the World Cup boomers. But here we are now. And this is actually live, I think, on my iPad. So that's where I'm at. It's just absolute chaos. Loving it. Anyway, so jump in the comments. Tell us who you want to win. We did a big breakdown on yesterday's show. That was very fun. And so if we look at the odds as we head into this one, I don't know. I think I'm most excited about, say, Portland winning it. What do you reckon? If PDX Pete was out there, he'd be over the moon. He's got about 87 kids now, so I don't know if he's actually going to be bothered doing it. What else we got? So you got that bottom three. It's going to be fun. Detroit, Houston, and the San Antonio Banderas Spurs. Who do you reckon? Who do you reckon? I don't know, but it's going to be chaos. We're going to the United Center. We'll have weird Mark Tatum be like, hello, everybody. I'm the Weirdos Vice Commissioner, and I'm going to read out all the things and open up the little envelopes, aren't I? Very weird, but we do have, 6 teams with a more than 9% chance to get the number one spot. It's going to be Victor Wembanyama, the big Frenchman. He's pretty gnarly, obviously. I mean, he looks good. But color me a little bit, just a little bit skeptical. 7 foot fucking 20. And he's got the girth and size of your fucking pinky. But I mean, anybody can dunk it just by standing there. It's always going to be a bit of a problem. And if he can shoot threes as well, if he can defend, if he can cover some space, if he's got a little bit of, I don't know, defensive nous. I reckon Box Hill Benny, Trent Barry's like, Box Hill Benny's going to post something on IG Live in a second about how he's excited to jump in there and just go, I don't know, stick the boot into the Sixers or something some more. But of those 6 teams with the 9% or better chance at the number one pick, where does Wemby fit best? I think that's what we're saying. Well, like, Woj is beside himself. Woj is out there just like, skeet, of just like absolute chaos. Like, he's the best thing. He's the best thing I've ever seen. I love him so much. He's just the greatest player that we've ever seen into the NBA. It's like, I don't know. Didn't we have a bloke named Shaquille O'Neal one day? Michael Jordan, even though he went 3. I don't know, Zion, like a couple of years back. What are we doing? But I reckon Box Hill Benny's about Box Hill Benny's going to be watching this just like with a bated breath. I mean, has another number one pick. Off he goes. You thought he was talking about Chet Holmgren at first. Yeah, I mean, this is it. That's why we're in the OKC top, because I think that's probably the most fun and like the most instant juggernaut that you could probably like come up with, right? If Victor Wembanyama goes to OKC in the 12 spot, they've got a 1.7% chance. Chicago did it back in the day to go get D Rose. So what do you reckon? Can we get that bumped up again? Just give somebody the number one pick when they really, really deserve it. They played out their ass. They looked good. OKC would be a great landing spot. Giddy. You'd have SGA. It'd be funny that Chet Holmgren was there going, but I was a skinny big guy. What are we doing? Why do we go get a French version of me? I'm Chet fucking Holmgren. What are we doing? But also, I think Orlando is probably the next best, right? Because if you think about Orlando, they've got Bella Bancaro and Wendell Carter Jr. and a whole bunch of like just really good depth as well, which makes it a lot easier for Wemby to sort of slide in there and just go, all right, I'll just sort of hang out, be good, chill out, and let Franz Wagner, hello, do all the fun stuff. So I don't know. Oh, we've got Cutout Deli in the background as well. He's just swinging by saying g'day. Now he's back in Melbourne. Checks out. But I do like the idea of OKC having this thin towers, right? That'd be awesome. Be like Ralph Sampson and Hakeem Olajuwon 2.0. If you remember that back in the 80s. I don't. I was like 3. Let's all just fucking pump the brakes there. But Detroit, Houston, San Antonio. So those top 3. Obviously, San Antonio is your best landing spot, isn't it, in terms of developmental vibes? You see, Jim, they once had the Admiral David Robinson, and they also had Timmy Duncan, and they won 5 titles over 20 years. And I will ask you, what have they done since? Nothing. Pop's shit. He's backed it in. He's I retired 4 years ago when fucking Kawhi just went, I'm out of here. And fucked off. Like, I know that Ian Braithwaite is a big San Antonio fan. And there was a bit of a fun rant I had on yesterday's NBA Straya yelling about this. What are the developmental success stories in the last couple of years? Devin Vassell? Keldon Johnson? What are we doing? It's DeJounte Murray, and they kicked him to the fucking curb. But you do know that San Antonio would have like the nous, the organizational fortitude to have Wemby come in and just like develop him the right way. So I'll pay that. It's actually all right. Pacers, says Brennan Ayer. Brennan Ayer? Ayer. See, growing up in Ballarat, there's a street there. It's Ayer Street. And then you go, isn't that Lake Air? It's not Lake Ayer. What are we fucking doing here? Bloody Straya. Anyway, Pacers. He would be great on the Pacers, actually. But the thing is, the Pacers bore the shit out of me. I just don't care about the Pacers. Oh, but you see, they've got Tyrese Halliburton. Boring! They've got Miles Turner. Boring! They've got Buddy Hield. Boring! I just don't care. Josh Primo. There you go. He was Primo. Primo at getting his fucking schlong out in front of people. Oh, it's my sexual deviancy. It's like, no, you're just getting your peen out, you dickhead. What are you doing? Anyway, Brennan Ayer. There you go. So Brennan Ayer Jordan. There you go. So it's like Lake Air. So I think everybody in Ballarat's just been fucking up Ayer Street, or is it Air Street? I don't even know. Fuck, I haven't lived there for a long time. Anyway, so San Antonio won. Detroit would be probably out of those top 3 would be the next best spot because if you think about Detroit, you've already got Kay Cunningham, you've got Jaden Ivera, and at least like a sort of handy core that would be instantly like way fucking better than like half the other teams in the East. Houston would be a shit show, but then they went and hired Ime Udoka. You got to respect a team who has a coach who will, as soon as look at you, either shag your wife or choke you the fuck out. I love that. I absolutely love it. Ime Udoka is like, look, if you look at me fucking sideways, Jalen Green, I'm going to steal your girl and I'm going to punch you in the fucking head. Ime Udoka is a gun. So if you put Victor Wembanyama in there, I don't know how that'd go. Ime be like, shut up with your French shit, Victor. Get in the fucking post. I'm sick of it. Just get in there. Fuck. He just loses it. He's trying to choke out a 7'6" dude. Fucking goes to get a step ladder. So how can I fucking tell him what's up? I can't even reach his head. Anyway, we've got Hazard P. Yeah, nah for you, Jim. If Houston gets Wemby, the James Harden trade is occurring. This is the other flip side. Like this might be the Tillman Frittata. The Frittata. Tillman Frittata, when he bought the Rockets for a shit ton of money, and he had to ship off James Harden, he stocked the fridge with a bunch of draft picks. And if they get Wemby in this draft, well, if they get the number 1 pick, obviously, then the Harden trade is definitely on because Harden's like, oh, I'll come and teach him how to navigate the strip clubs of the greater Houston area because, of course, he will. James is just nice like that. Old fast Jimmy Harden. But yeah, Harden definitely just goes, oh, that's pretty interesting. Maybe I'll just go back to Houston. We can fuck Jalen Green off and I'll just have the ball in my hands with the young bloke. That'll be pretty fun. So yeah, I'd rank that top 3, San Antonio, Detroit, Houston. Then you got Charlotte at 4. You feel like the fit there with LaMelo would be pretty nice, right? Oh, Daniel Roberts, how good is that lid? Got it for Christmas. I fucking love this hat. The only weird part is that there's like a bit of a ridge on the middle. So it sort of sticks on your head. So I don't wear it for too long, but it's fucking great. Portland are actually 5. So I'll talk about Charlotte first. Charlotte with LaMelo. They've also got, a couple of vets there, don't they? They've got Gordie Hayward. They've got your man Terry Rose hanging out, causing havoc, taking every bad shot under the fucking sun. And then you've got not much else. That's sort of the problem with Charlotte. You've got LaMelo, you'd have Wemby, you'd have a couple of vets, and you'd have like PJ Hamilton, Washington. Like, what are we doing? Whew, rough. Portland, it'd be fun because you'd have Dame. You'd be able to go, Dame, what would you like to do? Damien, can we send you somewhere that you would be happy while we basically ruin another big guy? Because that's what's going to happen with Portland. It's like, we've got a long storied history of big fellas. Sam Bowie, Avitas Sabonis, and Greg Oden. And you're like, but Portland, what have they all got in you fucked them. And they're always injured. Jesus. So keep him as far away from fucking Portland as you can. Give Portland Scoot Henderson. Give Portland the 2 pick. And we'll go from there. That way you can ship Dame off and not feel bad about it. Away you go. Orlando, as I said, Paolo Banchero, Wendell. They've got shooting. They've got size. You get Wemby. That is just fucking bang on. Tyron Zappia says Wemby to the Pistons are never going to do a thing. I think that makes Detroit a fucking an electric team. Like, Kay Cunningham is awesome. Jaden Ivey is like pretty good. He showed us a lot in that first season. I love that. But Ian Braithwaite, do you think Wemby can avoid the foot lower limb issues that so many of these unicorn guys deal with? It is a weird question because I feel like he is, if you look at Wemby's build, he's proportionate, but he's just stretched out. Just a long fucking bit of French spaghetti, isn't he? And I think the lower level stuff really sort of comes down to, if you look at someone like Rudy Gobert and the way that he's sort of built and just that weirdly massive athletic frame, and he has had some sort of issues, but it's not been as bad as some of the other dudes, especially with the foot stuff. But it's always like, the thing is, I think we've gotten to a point with, modern medicine. I'm no medical doctor, but I think we've gotten to a point where we should at least be able to head a lot of that shit off, right? So I like this. That is a good question. On that note, Jim, is Zion a bust? He's heading that way. But this is it. This is why I just have I'll always have this tiny little bit of skepticism about Wemby, because he is really fucking thin and he's not built like a brick shithouse. That's probably to his actual benefit, right? Though coming in 19, he's not built like a brick shithouse like Zion was, where you have that crazy athleticism. And as soon as you jump and you land with that giant fucking rig of his, what happens? It's like, I don't know. I'm no maths physicist. But when you get a giant rig and a couple of pins, what happens to the pins? They get fucking busted. That's what happens. So Zion, look, I hold out hope, but I still think, I've maintained this now for years, right? His numbers have always felt as empty as as empty calories as his fucking diet. It's like, what are you doing there, Zion? Get in absolute fucking chaos shape, and then we could maybe talk. But until he does, bust is sort of still written over it. Because, what's he won? What's he done? Has he made a playoffs? What's he doing? Is he contributing to winning? Just fucking nut. So Zion at the moment for me is a fucking bust. If Wemby goes to the Pistons, what do they do with Duren and Wiseman? They fuck him off. No, you keep Duren. I think he's kind of got at least the really good, if Wemby's a bit fucky, we can at least, develop Jalen Duren and go from there. Wiseman, you can probably still ship off for a half decent haul as well, right? He's a former number 2 pick. He gave you a lot down the stretch. Wiseman will be pretty good still. William Morris, the cigarette smoker himself. I kind of hope Charlotte gets the number 1 pick just for Jordan. He's had it rough. Yeah. Michael Jordan has had he's had a rough time. What are you doing? Trent Barry adds, MJ will 100% sell if the Hornets land Wemby. Yes. And this might be where the conspiracy theories kick in. What are the best conspiracy theories? Is it Charlotte? So MJ gets a back rub from Adam Silver, a bit of a quick rub and tug. And about, hey, we'll give you Wemby, then you can fucking boot off into the sunset and stop shitting it everywhere around your franchise by being cheap and being shit. So then you can sell it and you've got Wemby. I kind of like that. Another one, obviously, Dallas. It's I've been yelling about this one on NBA Straya for ages now. Adam Silver's all right, Mark Cuban, you take this fucking lunatic, NBA Kanye, off my hands, old Kyrie Irving. You get him out of Brooklyn, put him down there in obscurity next to your mate fucking Luka Doncic. Take him off my hands out here in Brooklyn where he's in a giant media market. You land that number 10 pick, I'll jump into the top 4. 100% bang on that. 100%. Unless the team is sold, we're just fucks, says Dan Roberts. Hey, Gav! Gav says, Jimmy! Thanks, Gavin. One of my top 4 favorite comedians in Melbourne. Hayden says, I hope he doesn't go to Portland. The curse is real. Yeah, look, as I said, I want Portland to get number 2. I don't want them to get Wemby. Don't let Portland anywhere near a big fella. You can't do it to them. That's a fucking war crime at this point. It's a hate crime. Portland hates big fellas. Give him another Brandon Roy, a bloke with no fucking knees. Utah's another interesting landing spot for Wemby. It would be pretty funny if they traded a giant French dude for a shit ton of, like, I don't know, assets, that sort of shit, and then just landed another giant fucking French dude with the number 1 pick next year. I kind of love that. Washington, whatever. Indy, look, they'd be really good. And they would be instantly relevant in a way they probably haven't been since what? Paul George and Roy Hibbert were out there causing havoc. Or even really since the Malice in the Palace, and before that since Reggie. So anyway, let's get into it. We've got a minute to go. Well, less than a minute, because this is fucking hilarious. So I'm running, I think, Foxtel through like the ESPN, like, you know, fucking feed through like a fire stick in the back of that TV. And there's the iPad with Nick Collison, a.k.a. the bloke who looks like my very good mate, Nick Kay, down there. Dalen Terry, Nico Harrison. That doesn't scream good. I don't like this. Colin the Sex Man Sexton. He's hanging out for Utah. It's still really fucking sad about the poor kid of the Cleveland owner, Nick Gilbert. Oh, man. Cyrus Halliburton for the Pacers. It's a bit weird that they got him in front of a Pelicans logo. Why have they got the logos all fucky like that? So their dudes are sitting in front of, like, Jamal Mosley's in front of a Toronto one. That's weird. 9% chance, though. Orlando tanked so much better than fucking anybody else. Brandon Roy! I just mentioned him. That was great. Jeez. No knees, stacked on the pounds. Mark Williams is out there for Charlotte. They're not winning. Peter Holt. He looks like he's killed a couple of hookers. I'm just saying, allegedly. And Ime Udoka. Ben Wallace. If Ben Wallace doesn't get the first pick, he's going to go out and fucking lay wood on everybody and just start laying a waste of motherfuckers. Adam Topless, let's go. Magic Shack and Penny 2.0. Ooh, I love that. Topless is a big Orlando fan. I love this. Dallas would benefit the most. Instant contenders. They probably would. I think it'd probably be OKC. OKC, look, they bring in Chet. Like, they almost become an instant contender, but they bring in Wemby. Fucking hell. Like, they made the playoffs this year. Dallas didn't even make the playoffs. So I'd say that, OKC, probably the instant contenders. Orlando would jump right up too. Ben Wallace ready to smash some heads. He's about to go Malice in fucking Chicago. All right, here we go. Mark Tatum, the weird one. Good luck, everyone. Okay. All right. New Orleans. 14 stays at 14. There you go. 13 is Toronto. What's it going to be? Open the envelope. Stick in there. So come on, OKC. Let's see him jump. Let's go. Come on. Jump, boys. Jump. 12. Fuck yes. Whatever. This is bullshit. All right, so we're down to 11. This is Orlando, Chicago's pick. 11 goes to Orlando, so that stays there. There you go. From Chicago. Doesn't jump up. Number 10, here it is, Dallas. At least Dallas get the number 10 pick, I guess. You fucking idiots. Well, at least they keep it, because if that had dropped out, they shipped that off to the New York Knickerbockers of New York City. Number 9, this should be Utah. We're sticking fat. We're straight down the line so far. The Utah Jazz, it's a soft J at 9. Number 8 should be Washington. Let's see what happens. Walk, walk, walk. Washington forever. The 8th best team in the history of the NBA. 7 should be Indy, unless they jump up. Indy it is. Here we go. We're sticking. We're sticking. So 6 should be Orlando. Top 6. Here we go. Number 6, Orlando. It's staying. Right. Well, the top 5 is the same top 5. Jesus. So it's been absolutely the same all the way through the top, from 14 through 5. Fucking hell. Portland, 5. Oh, Detroit have dropped. Oh, disaster in Michigan. Ben Wallace is going to start punching motherfuckers in the head. Woo! Portland are in the top 4, boys. Number 2. Don't let the big fella near him. We're going to break. All right, let's break this one down. Unfucking real. 14 through 2, 5. Unbelievable gear. Detroit dropped down. Unbelievable. They had a 52% chance. This is the thing when you even out the odds, right? You have a 52. You are the worst team in the NBA. It's like, great, we're guaranteed one of the top 3 picks. Nope, not anymore, mulatto. You only have a 52% chance at the top 4, motherfucker. Like, this is how it goes now. So, Blazers are going top 4, along with Houston, San Antonio, and Charlotte. So none of those are really that fun and sexy, but at the same time, let's get Portland in number 2. They can get Scoot Henderson. They can ship off Dame Lillard. I'm here for that. Just don't give Portland number 1. We can't have another big fucking dude get his career ruined up in the Pacific Northwest. What are you doing, Adam Silver? Use your fucking giant alien-looking brain. Jesus. Anyway, Charlotte, this might be the conspiracy theory where Charlotte finally get the number 1 pick. And they go, bang, and put him with LaMelo, and MJ goes, ka-ching, motherfuckers. I'm out of here to go smoke some cigars and play some golf. Portland are right there. I just want Portland number 2. That's all I want. Oh, boy. Spurs will get him. They always find a way to stay relevant, says Alex Ramos. Yep. And away we go. Zeus Evan Cortez. Yeah, we're talking about it. What's 14 through 10? So we've stayed fat. So New Orleans at 14. 13 is Orlando. 12 is the Oklahoma City Thunderoonies. Orlando keep 11 from Chicago. Dallas keep their number 10 pick. That is pretty crazy. They didn't get the jump up. 9 was Utah. 8's at Washington. 7 still Indy. 6 is still Orlando. 5 is your Detroit basketball Pistons. Disaster in Michigan. Disaster. Absolute disaster. Funny, though. What else have we got? We've got the remaining 4. So Houston, San Antonio, Charlotte, and Portland. So at number 1, you had 14% chance for Houston, 14% chance for San Antonio, 12.5% for Charlotte. And what is it? 10.5% for the Portland Trailblazers. I need a quick check-in with PDX Pete. He's up there somewhere in Portland fucking losing his mind right now, knowing that he just wants Scoot Henderson and actually not Wemby. To be fair, my homie Drabs lives in Charlotte, and I would have to probably get in to visit then. I should make sure that he's already bought season tickets before. Can you buy season tickets before the rest of the draft lottery? Get Drabs on there, just go, oh, shit, just in case, just in case. Buy those $40 Charlotte tickets before they go up to $140 tomorrow. Well, in about 8 minutes. Jeez. But this is going to be crazy. So if we're going to rank those top 4, what do you reckon? San Antonio still feels like the best bet for Wemby long term. Thing is, Spurs fans, you had a good run. Just let somebody else have a crack, would you? Just come on. You get the Admiral, you get fucking Tim Duncan, you had Kawhi and you fucked him off because, boy, did you screw that pooch. But here we go. So who's going to be number 4, do you reckon? Can you tell I've had about 87 coffees today? I am fucking flying. The squid woke up. He was like having a asthma attack at like fucking 5 a.m. So your old mate Jim has had an early start. Oh, let's go. Should have Irish that one up. Thoughts on the Detroit Pistons? Zeus Evan Cortez. I think it'd be a great landing spot for Wemby. They already do have a couple of big men, obviously. But Wembanyama, who gives a fuck who you've already got? You get him in, and it changes your franchise. So I think it's great for Detroit, especially because they've already got 2 really, really good guards, or at least good guards that can grow with Wemby, right? So, Josha, he's already gone from Washington. Washington's already gone. What are you doing? Get off the tins. It's only 10:24. We've got the final 4. Let's do it. Detroit, I like that. I think it'll be fun, but they're gone. Because they got knocked out of that top 5. It's still funny. They're fucked. Like Detroit dropping from Like that top 3 to a 5 spot is just abysmal. I mean, they can get like at least a half decent wing now. That's fine, but they're set for guards. So maybe if they can swing some sort of trade and like scooch up into that top 3 and get Brandon Miller. But this is a disaster for Detroit because they were kind of thinking, right, if we don't get Wemby, we're going to get Scoot Henderson or we get Brandon Miller, probably Brandon Miller. Here we go. Number 4. Who is it? Let's do it. Houston are in 4. Oh, geez. Alert, alert. Sucked in, dickheads. You're going to be shit. Number 3. Portland's 3. Yes. Wemby's fine. Here we go. Number 2. Charlotte, it's going to San Antonio. Unfucking believable gear. Pop's beside himself. He's had about 47 tins. He's just wind up. Oh, fucking hell. David Robinson, Tim Duncan, and they get the next fucking generational center. That, my friends, is absolute fucking chaos. I absolutely love it. It's hilarious. It's dumb. It's amazing. The San Antonio Banderas Spurs. Fuck me. David Robinson, Tim Duncan, Victor Wembanyama. They've already got Tony Baka. I have sex with your wife to talk fucking French with him. God damn it. Does he sit out? What do you reckon? Does he go, fuck it. I don't go to the Spurs. But that is incredible. Just, I don't know how the Spurs are touched on the dick when it comes to drafting generational fucking centers, but here we are. That is absolutely stunning gear. How does he fit with that current roster of San Antonio? And do you sort of go, well, now we've got Wemby. Should we kick the tires on a couple of other dudes? What do you reckon? We kind of need a point guard. And it does sort of feel like they are the guys who would look at this and go, well, we could probably take a bit of a swing now and go get just something else. Because if you look at that Spurs team, like it's literally Trey Jones. Trey Jones ain't going to do it. David Vassell, handy. Keldon Johnson, handy. Jeremy Sohan, handy. Victor Wembanyama, super fucking handy. You just need a point guard. Thing is, point guards are worth fucking sweet dick all at the moment in the NBA, so you can probably go get one. Shit, go trade for Chris Paul. He's just up the fucking road there, right? Up there in Phoenix. I love to see Victor Wembanyama next to Brian Windhorse. There's a different fucking, there's a juxtaposition. All right, let's have a look at some of these comments. Come on, Spurs. Marty Sutton says, it's happening, it's happening. Marty Sutton says, fuck, Harry Pratt. Huzzah! He says, come on, Spurs. Yes, Spurs, of course, says Matty Owers. Ian Braithwaite's beside himself. He's just fucking just done. Harry Pratt says, let's go. Hornets are damn close. They're not that close. Dame to San Antonio. Ooh. Why not both? We lift her up and away we go. Why not both? Why not trade for Dame? Portland and San Antonio do have a long storied history of trading with each other. I like this a lot. Go get Dame next to Wemby, the Spurs. They can win another fucking 5 titles. Marty Sutton says, look now, let's not be hasty. We're just presuming they'll pick him. Yes, we're presuming they'll take the generational talent big man when they're starting fucking Sandro Mamukelashvili like at fucking center. I think they might be all right. Dame to San Antonio to hook up the long frog. Bang on. Scoot drops to 3. That is going to be fascinating, actually, to see how that like flushes out, right? Because you've got Charlotte at 2. You sort of feel like Charlotte would take Brandon Miller. Because you got LaMelo, you got Brandon Miller. There's a bit of a fucking spine for you, right? I don't know if you need Scoot Henderson next to LaMelo. Talk about redundancy. Whereas Portland can just go get Scoot, piss Dame off down to San Antonio for whatever they need, and away you go. This actually set up perfect. Jeez, I'm going to have a lot to talk about on today's NBA Straya, I'll tell you what. And there's also a fucking playoff game to talk about. So this is going to be absolutely chaos. So the way that it washes out, San Antonio with the number 1 pick, Charlotte with the number 2 pick. Brandon Miller right there. Scoot better than LaMelo. Look, to be honest, he's probably more reliable than LaMelo. And if you're Charlotte, this is the thing. You might be able to have a bit of a bidding war, but I feel like Brandon Miller is kind of the exact dude you want next to LaMelo. And if you feel good about Brandon Miller, you take him at 2 because you put a fucking awesome, wicked shooting, big, long wing. Off we go. Charlotte would feel pretty good about that. But the thing is, Charlotte are in a great position where they can make that decision, right? They can go, we love Brandon Miller. We love Scoot Henderson. We can make our decision. The closer we get, we can figure out whether or not we think that Scoot's redundant next to LaMelo, or because LaMelo is fucking big enough, we can just go with an awesome double-headed guard. But I still feel like in today's NBA, you want to have like that really big wing who can score, who can do a little bit. And that's exactly what Brandon Miller sort of projects to. But I don't know. The Brandon Miller love for me was always a bit wonky because then you look at that fucking weird, shitty, horrible run in the NCAA tournament. And you kind of go, I'm not so convinced about that. Whereas Scoot Henderson's like built like a brick shit house, and away we go. So San Antonio, Charlotte, Portland at 3. They can basically go, right, if you didn't want Brandon Miller or Scoot Henderson, we'll take your leftovers. We're not fucking picky. We're Portland. What are we doing? Then they can piss off Dame down to San Antonio. Away we go. And Houston and Detroit. What an absolute horror show of a draft lottery that is for them. Houston at 4, Detroit at 5, and then everybody else. 6, Orlando, 7, Indy, 8, Washington, 9, the Utah Jazz. It's a soft J. Dallas stick fat at 10. Keep their pick. Way to just tank the play-in fucking game. You're only seeing a 7 seed in the Western Conference Finals and an 8 seed in the East, you fucking idiots. Orlando at 11, OKC at 12, 13 Toronto, 14 New Orleans. Absolutely love to see that. So there you go. Predictions for the draft when it actually happens. Let's say San Antonio take Wemby, obviously. Charlotte, I think maybe they throw a bit of a curveball and they actually go with Scoot Henderson. I think that'd be kind of gnarly, but Brandon Miller would probably be my pick there. Houston, whoever they don't take, and away we go. Gavin Inga, he says, hear me out. Wemby to Melbourne United to hook up with King Delhi. If he had any fucking sense, that's what he'd do. I tell it. Scoot greater than LaMelo, says Brendan Air. Scoot drops to 3. I reckon there's probably a good chance that Scoot drops to 3. Portland can take him there and ship Dame off. Build around Scoot Henderson, Shaden Sharp, Anthony Simons, and away they go. But I think Portland will be happy either way, right, with Brandon Miller or Scoot. If they get Brandon Miller, they can keep Dame if they need to, and away they go. So that's going to be fun as hell. All right, let's bloody well get into it then. I'm going to watch this game, and then we'll have an NBA Straya tonight to wrap all this up. Thanks for jumping on the live stream. We'll be doing a couple of these as well from the office, from the NBA Straya studio, as you can see. A couple of good gear in the background, but we'll be doing some more live streams throughout the playoffs, throughout the finals, some of these conference finals games and shit, and obviously the draft lottery, all the good stuff. It's your mate Jim, it's NBA Straya. Go subscribe, do all that good shit. Go on, bloody well do it. I'm not asking much. Just go subscribe. All right. Congrats to San Antonio. Congrats to all 7 San Antonio Spurs fans. Like, you did a great job. You got the number 1 pick again. But really, the real winner here, Charlotte, Portland, absolutely smashed it. But also San Antonio because they got number 1. All right. Later, fuckos. I'll catch you next time. Jimmy out. Go subscribe to NBA Straya. Listen to tonight's show. It's going to be fucking gnarly.